Shalom and praises be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Lukakudash, the blood unto the elder apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone, who were well and to us his truth. Salutes unto all the Arkim out there, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, man. And pretty much, yeah, this is another quick hit video. Okay, again, on that Black Mirror shit. This series and that, made for the consumer's entertainment, something that is just futuristic, if you will, this kind of dystopian future and that. But in reality, yeah, it's predictive programming, which we've been talking about for years, starting with the elder apostles, the bishops, brothers on down, man. We've been telling you about predictive programming and then putting stuff in the shows and that, which pretty much is all dealing with them letting you know what they intend to do and roll out there to the mass population, and they'll make it seem like, oh, it's all futuristic and this stuff doesn't really exist, but in reality these things exist, man. These things exist. Now, I just got finished watching in this episode Hotel Rivera, right? And pretty much, I think it's like the third episode in of season 7 or whatever the case may be. But so far, it's all they're all dealing with chip technology. The stance and the storyline may be a bit different, and things of that nature, But the storyline's change and that. But the overwhelming message that they're pushing in all of these episodes thus far is just chip technology, man. Altered realities, you get that. So you can see it got the still on the screen. She got that little device there, on the side of her temple, on her head. Okay, they're letting you know, man, pretty much, going into simulations, altered realities, time traveling and all of that. I remember a couple of years ago there was an article, I think I did a show on it, and some other brothers did some shows on it as well, dealing with uploading your memories to a cloud. So they essentially, when a person dies and passes away or whatever, because their conscience, if you will, is uploaded to some cloud system, they can live on in the cloud. So that's Esau, man. He's trying to push that living forever, that living forever vibe, man. So when the person passes on or whatever from Earth, they can live on the cloud and that. And this episode was really dealing with like altered realities in real time, man. And they're letting you know, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, this is some futuristic shit. This is shit they're working on, man. These are all the things that's gonna come with the m.a.r.k. Okay, these altered realities, working of miracles, sick people getting their illnesses reversed, main people being able to do things. This is the time we're in, man. Okay, and you see, we quote the same scriptures, we do stuff on the same topics and that. People get bored. Oh yeah, you're talking about the same thing, but then Esau's talking about the same thing through his avenues. He's putting it on in his shows, all of his shows, all of the episodes, everything's toward this new world order, man. Okay, and that's in the scriptures. Okay, scripture says, while he's about to fill his belly, then shall the Most High rain it upon him whilst he's eating. I'm just gonna quote the scriptures because this is a quick hit. Okay, yeah, I see David on there. Hey, should have warm up, man. I know you was in contact and that a while back. What country are you in, if you don't mind saying, bro? You can drop a comment on the video afterwards. What country are you in, bro? But yeah, man. Then shall the Most High rain it upon him whilst he's eating. So Esau's gonna get close to fulfilling that new world order, man. And a part of that new world order, there's different facets and assets. Well, not assets, that's the wrong word. Facets to it, I should say. But you're in London, yeah. Alright, bro. Alright, man. That's cool. Do you know what, yeah? David, uh, drop your email on like not on the live stream, like do it as a comment on the video after, on this video after. Drop the email to your page and that. You know what I mean, bro? 'Cause I see you, you know, you ask questions and that, and then you know, we did the video for you, and then you know, I see you on the boards, man. You're in London, all right? Yeah, drop your email as a comment on the video after, and yeah, if you don't mind, bro. But yeah, man, you know, these altered realities, man. So the Most High's gonna rain it on him while he's eating, but a big infrastructure of this new world order, what puts it all in place here is what puts it all in place is the mark of the beast, bro. They're they're putting it in all the shows, man. Yeah, you got Revelation 14, you know, and 9 and that, you got Revelation 13 and 16, the mark of the beast, he calls it all both small and great, you know. And then you get this chip now. One thing that is showing, you know, prevalent in these two last episodes is you get these technologies and that, and you think you can do what you want. Now you gotta either upgrade the package or you gotta play according to the rules of the algorithm. Otherwise, you die, you know. And they make it seem like, oh yeah, well, you know, um, the system, you gotta follow the rules of the algorithm, you know. I think in, was it last season or one of the previous seasons of Black Mirror, you know, some guy had alternative views in society and that. He was talking a bit too much, and then they made his brain CHIP blow up and he died, man. You know, so they let you know this technology is really gonna control everything about you. You know, it's not only about your finances, although that's the main thing, you know, that it's gonna do. One of the main things it's gonna do, but it's gonna control people's realities, man. That's why I think I put it in the title, Altered Realities. You know, you could be living a life and you can go back in time and, you know, you in a pod because you linked up with the CHIP and things of that nature, man. You know, so it's pretty much, you know, the scripture says he sitteth in the seat of the Most High, saying that he is the Most High. Yeah, what's gonna allow Esau to try and simulate that for a little season is the m.a.r.k. You know, because the Most High knows everything. So Esau, Edom sees it, the elite see it, or if we can roll out this m.a.r.k, then we'll know everything. You know, they know every transaction you make, they know your body temperature, they know your other health vitals, they know where you live, they know where you're going in real time. You know, they can cause the chip the CHIP to help you out with certain health defects you got, or they can cause the thing to eliminate you. So that CHIP is really going to allow Esau, you know, to play God, if you will, you know. But as I quoted that scripture, the Most High's going to rain it upon him, man. So he's just about to fulfill that NWO. That's when the Lord is going to, you know, disrupt his plans and that, you know, Esau's plans, man. You know, but this is just, you know, got some other topics I want to get into, of course, man. But like I said, I just been watching this shit and you know, it's serious, bro. You know, when I say that, it's like, yeah, it's a show for people's entertainment, but you know, we read between the lines, man. We look at everything through a prophetic lens, if you will, and we can see that this is it, bro. You know, that m.a.r.k is here, man. It's about to be rolled out. That's the next major prophecy, man. You know, got Jacob's trouble in that, but the mandatory implementation of the m.a.r.k, that's what's up, bro. That's what's gonna happen according to biblical prophecy, man. You know, so I just wanted to, you know, share a few thoughts on that. But it's clear as day. The agenda's clear as day. They're letting you know right in your face what their plans are. Okay, you know, altering people's realities, putting you in different time zones, creating whole new realms for people. You know, control. Okay, overwhelming control. You know, over people, man. You know, and basically living on that on that grid, you know, you want that electrical, that Internet of Things grid, you know. So you go off grid and you're looking to eliminate, you know, that's where we're going to exercise faith. Okay. I'm going to leave it there, you know, I may come back with some more shows later, you know, we'll see. But yeah, man, you know, without a shadow of doubt, man, the mark of the beast spoken of in biblical prophecy is the m.a.r.k, the chip. Okay, you know, so similar to any of that other stuff, is the implantable RFID m.a.r.k, man, and it's showing you that, you know. So it's exciting times, but we got to also pray unto the Lord. It's exciting because prophecy is playing out, but we also got to pray unto the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai for that faith and that strength to push through, man. You know, Yahweh, you know, said that, close on saying that, you know, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. The hour of temptation is the mandatory implementation of the m.a.r.k. Deliver us from evil. Evil means bad times, you know. So we have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahshai, we're going to be delivered, man. But it's definitely here, you know. So I'll close it out there. Just a quick hit, you know, close it out there, man. So I say, Kala Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Kakadash, man. Right, double honor to the elder apostles again, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who are well to us the truth. Salute to all you argue out there, preaching the word in truth and sincerity, man. And you know, catch you brothers and you few sisters in the next show, man. Shalom.